Hello, everyone. I'm here with another Naadi predictions update. And this time it's something very significant. I'm going to cover who the next governor of California is going to be. I've also researched a lot about wars and calamities that are coming in 2028, 2029. And then I'm finally going to share who the next president of America is going to be. So stay tuned. The first thing I want to talk about is that of the next governor of California. Most people don't know how significant California is. California is the largest and most populated state of California. It is also got the GDP, which is the fourth largest in the world at about $4.3 trillion. So the governor of California manages this huge budget and is very influential because it is such a significant state of America and also a very powerful influence in the world. So I know this lady that I've mentioned before who's in politics, and she had asked about her own political career, but she'd also asked who the next governor of California is going to be. The next elections in California are in November 2026. So she asked, she's from the Republican Party, and she asked if Mr. Chad Bianco or Mr. Steve Hilton are, if one of them is going to become a governor. And it said, well, indeed, it's going to be a Republican governor that we're going to get. I live in California. So we're going to get a Republican governor, according to the Naadi. And it said, yes, it will be one of these two gentlemen, which is either Chad Bianco or Steve Hilton. It said that it cannot reveal which one this would be, but it would be one of them, and that the person who becomes the next governor will really rise in their political career and reach more heights. So I'm wondering if this governor of California would then run for president in 2030. And I'll get to who the next president is going to be. The second thing that I've been researching about 2028, 2029, it actually goes back to about January of 2025, when a lot of predictions started coming at my Naadi and in other people's Naadis, because I have helped many people get their Naadi read across various Naadi readers. And I've also been helping people who request Naadi readings. And these are people from Asia, from Europe, from all five continents, and they share their Naadi recordings with me. So then what I do is I correlate and corroborate this information and put pieces together to see what significant world events are coming. So I always encourage people to share this information with me because I'm collecting this information from worldwide readings, and it would be helpful if you share your Naadi reading with me as well. So what I have gathered is that there will be war between countries by 2028. It would be quite significant, and that America would be attacked, as well as other countries would also be attacked by America. And it mentions something about there would be religious war as well. So I'm wondering if this would be between Iran and Israel. And in one Naadi, it does say that China and Russia would also be involved, perhaps backing Iran, and that America would be affected, not just using bombs and such conventional weapons, but it also mentioned a virus. So could it be perhaps some bioweapon that might be used by one of these countries as well? Now, it did say that it would affect all of America. So this would be a nationwide problem. And there would be restrictions on movement. There would be food shortages. There would be significant effect to life in America in terms of several things, like this is, I mean, if it's a virus or if there's bombs or if there's food shortages, what's happening that would really create so much chaos? Not just that, it mentioned that there would also be a natural calamity that would happen. And this would involve water, fire, and air. So these three elements would be involved in this natural calamity. And I'm not sure if this natural calamity would also occur in other parts of the world, but especially it mentioned it would affect America again in a big way, that it would affect the country as a whole. And it would be so significant that the government will find it difficult to handle this calamity. And it would form a national committee to handle this calamity, and it would have representatives from perhaps all states of America. And I've had Nadi readings also from people around America, from the East Coast, from Texas, from California, of course, and other states of America. And there is one lady who's Nadi from Texas mentioned that this natural calamity would cause a lot of chaos and affect people. And there would be political turmoil as well. There would be some stresses and problems, or perhaps uprisings or conflicts within America. I'm not sure, would it be rioting or just people protesting that would even affect her health. So it said that between July of 2028, when her birthday is, and July of 2029, natural calamities may cause losses. This is a year of political unrest and problems in the country. Changes in the political leadership will be stressful. So the elections in the US are in November of 2028. And I'm wondering if this war and calamities could perhaps postpone the elections in November 2028, that would not be taken very well and result in some sort of uprising or unrest or some such thing. And so that is a lot to digest. And this is all happening very close to the elections. So all of these things would happen, I'm guessing, second half of 2028. But it also mentioned 2029. So this would continue into 2029. I'm not sure of when exactly the calamity would hit and what the calamity would be. It could be an undersea volcano, or it could be a meteor that breaks up into different parts, and a meteor part hits into, say, the Gulf of Mexico, perhaps, or something, because Texas is affected. There is an undersea volcano off the coast of, I believe it's in Washington, state of Washington, off, north of California coast. That's big. It can be something involving the earth element, so it can be something that would land on the earth, like a meteor hitting the earth, or a volcano like Yellowstone erupting, because it's water, air, and fire. So hopefully, with our prayers, with the collective prayers that we do, that this will not affect people too much. And that's what I've been told to tell people also, to make sure that things will smoothen out and not become so miserable, because we do not want to go through misery, right? So I ask you to please join me in praying for humanity, that we go over these retributions for our collective karma with ease. And it also tells me to make sure that you tell people to become more dharmic, so that the karmic consequences are lesser as we become better and better as a humanity. But it said that these things will happen, only the effects can be reduced. Now, when we come to the next president of America, uh, it gave, again, this lady who's in politics asked this question: who is the next president of America going to be? And Shiva and the rishis were very generous to give us this information, but also hold certain secrets. So we did ask for a name. We did not get the name. And what it told us is that the next president of America is going to be of a different ethnic background. So what that means, it's not a white Caucasian male of European descent. it's going to be of a different ethnic background. Of course, the president of America has to be born in America, otherwise, you cannot be president. Now, usually, or what has happened in history so far is the elections are held in November and the swearing in is in January the next year. So if the elections are held in 2028, the next president would be sworn in January of 2029. But there were indications in the Naadi that said the next change in leadership would happen in 2030. So that is sort of like a mystery. But it said that this man who would come in would be a Republican, and he would be a man of integrity, of truth, of clarity, and he'd be very competent of handling very complex situations. Because remember, it says there is a war going on, there's a major calamity that's happened. And if a person of this stature comes in, it's definitely good for the world, as well as, of course, all of Americans as well. Now, it also said that this person would not previously be established in politics. So perhaps it's a new face or somebody relatively new in politics, but he will be dharmic, he'll be righteous, he'll be truthful. And that is very important and very nice, because it also said that this political lady who is of an Indian background has the potential or the probability of becoming the governor of California. And she's definitely very truthful and very dharmic, very good human being. So it looks like we will change the leaf for better by 2030 if we are going to get good leadership in terms of American president, the governor of California, and perhaps even other leaders across the world who would step up and bring a change in humanity as role models, and of course as powerful leaders who are coming in, who are very good human beings, who are truthful and all. And that's very, very good news to hear. It's very pleasant that after all these calamities and wars and all this difficulty that we'll go through in the next 5 years, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But things don't just happen without our participation, right? We have to contribute by improving ourselves, because we have to become more dharmic. We have to become better human beings. We have to become more loving and compassionate. And, I've had Nardi readings which said that it's not good to use things which divide people, such as religion, politics, nationality, but focus on oneness and things that unite us, like spirituality, which includes attaining better virtues. So these things won't just magically happen without us changing as well. So let us put in the work to work on ourselves to become better, to become more loving and serve others, and also become more truthful and have better relationships, handle situations better. I will talk about all of this perhaps in another video as well, so that we have a better future. But I'm very hopeful that by 2030 and beyond, there is light at the end of the tunnel and things would or do look better. There will obviously always be wars and there would be calamities, but if we become better human beings and if we get such good human beings leading the world, then it's definitely something I look forward to. So I hope you like this update on the next governor of California, the unfortunate calamities and wars that we're heading into very soon, and the next president of America. So please do like this video so it goes and it gets shared with other people. When you like the video, the YouTube algorithm suggests it to other people. And please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out more interesting videos, and share this with other people as well. Thanks for listening.